Hello, Dave.
Hello.
So what have we got?
Right, we've got a Casio CZ101, which has come in. It had a burnt out output transistor in the end here, which I suspect is lots of volts going where they shouldn't have gone. I think because that's unusual. These are unbelievably reliable and very odd. It's a different kind of synthesis. It uses something called phase distortion synthesis. There were only ever 5 models made, and no one has made anything like it ever since. There are some VST versions around now, but they don't really work in the same way. And they're, I think, very undervalued. They hardly fetch anything at all, and they're good fun. It's got these funny push buttons which tend to clog up. In fact, about half of them were clogged up. What happens is the holes they fit into are very thin, and they tend to just fill up with crud and then jam when you push them down, and you have to keep poking them. But just a bit of standard standard contact cleaner. Basically you just spray it all over, get a bit of kitchen towel and just rub it like that, and eventually all the muck comes out and they work again. That's but that is their main problem usually. It's claggy buttons.
So when did Casio bring these out?
These came out 1984, I think. That they came out. Like I say, there were 5 models in all that they came up. The best one, the most professional one, was called the CZ1, which was slightly different in that they all had mini keys. Casio were really in the forefront of trying to get everybody to use mini keys in those days. But this one's got very. This one, the 101, is the cheapest model, and it had the worst keyboard. Having said that, it does have MIDI, so that you can use any keyboard with it. Also, with the MIDI, it'll save up to. You can save up to 16 patches. It's got 16 preset patches, and you can save 16 more. But you can easily dump them and reload them over MIDI. Actually programming it is a bit the best thing to do. The usual thing is people would read the manual and then go and have a lie down with a damp towel on their head, because it looks so. It's one of those things where you mess around till you get a sound you really like, and then save it quickly before it goes away, because it's all done through this window using push buttons and counting. So, but it does make some quite extraordinary sounds. Also, when these came out, it was the heyday of the Atari STE, and they went together so well that there were literally hundreds of editing programs for the Atari STE. In fact, there is still, about 3 months ago, an iPad app came out, which is a programmer for the Casio CZ range, which seems really strange to me for something that obscure, but people still like them.
And it uses this phase distortion.
It's called phase distortion.
What on earth is that?
Well, your standard analog synth generates various wave shapes, usually square waves and saw waves, that have got lots of harmonics in them, and you make your sounds by filtering out those harmonics using a filter. Then came FM synthesis, where you got sine waves, and you modify those using other tiny sine waves. It's all very kind of. This worked a bit like that, except it used that your basic sound was always a sine wave, but then you modified it using very angular, sharp wave shapes, which actually distort the wave shape into kind of much more spiky wave shapes. It's also got rather than a filter, it's got what's called the DCW section, which is the digitally controlled wave, and this is where it gets complicated. It changes the angle of the wave shape, which gives the same kind of effect as a filter does. But then you're getting really into heavy duty mathematics, and you really don't want to think about that. You basically mess with that and it changes the sound. It's now all of these, you've got two different oscillators which you can mix together. A vibrato generator which works on these wave shapes here. Some of which you wouldn't use at all for vibrato usually. You can then mix or put together your two oscillators here in various ways, and then you've got a ring modulator and a noise modulator.
So a ring modulator,
yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
For a sort of what looks like a little toy synth type thing.
So these were very old. It's Casio never really they were all, well, they still are really stuck between this whole kind of home organ image. Right, yeah, because the thing is, like, Casio actually, when they came up with the Casio VL tone, this was actually one of the first ever programmable synths. You could actually, through this weird wave shaper thing here, you could put in, you could program in sounds with it, which it then remembered, and you could add up your shopping list on it as well. And occasionally they come out with something like this, which in actual fact is stunning, but it still looks like a little home organ. They never really got beyond that. It's it does some amazing things. Each of these here are actually controlled by an 8-stage envelope shaper, so you can actually make things go up and down all over the place in all kinds of strange ways, and it's, you know, you get some really odd sounds out of it.
And you said a couple of seconds ago it's got a ring modulator on it.
Yeah.
How can you what does it do?
It's a very basic ring modulator. It's
that's one of my favourite noises.
It's not an extreme ring modulator. It's more to do with shaping the sound. Get basic sound. That's its preset number 1. If you turn on the ring modulator, see, it's very subtle on that. It comes more into its own when you start making up your own sounds. See, it's giving that edge, and then you've got the noise modulation as well. But that works on, that actually works. It depends how you got this set here. This is where you can either read the manual or just play with it till it works. So yeah, the ring modulator sometimes does really extreme things and sometimes doesn't appear to do anything at all. We also appear to have a sound that goes on forever. Yeah.
So all in all, an easy fix, this one?
An easy fix is this one. Like I say, I very rarely see these because they very rarely go wrong. I do know loads of people who have got them and love them.
And we're looking at this is the sort of thing that you do see at car boots and second-hand
you find
things.
These car boots. There were an awful lot of them made. I mean, I will never understand why they why they gave up on the idea. Like I say, there were five models made, all basically the same. This was the cheapest one. The most popular one was the CZ-101, which had a better keyboard on it. But apart from that, looks exactly the same. It's just a bit deeper there to there. The most, the top end one was the CZ1. That one actually had, it still had a mini keyboard, but it was quite a nice feeling mini keyboard, and it was touch sensitive as well. That's why the sounds on all of them, if you get one and you don't want to make your own sounds, the internet is still full of sounds for them as MIDI files and things, and they're all interchangeable except the CZ1, because the CZ1 sounds carry touch information as well, because you could route the touch to controlling anything. So that's got an so you can put other sounds into the CZ1, but you can't put CZ1 sounds into the other ones. But there's loads of them around. Loads of noises around for it, but it's just fun to mess with.
Brilliant.
When you, if you want to say, the MIDI is actually, well, in some ways it's very non-complicated, because usually there is a MIDI button, usually with something like that, in order to dump and get back sounds. You'd have to go into a sub-menu and set it up to receive and things. If you press this, it just lights up a little window here, and you can set whether program change is enabled and what channel it works on, and that's it. And everything is done, all the dumping and saving sounds is done from the other end, from your sequencer or MIDI thing. So, you know, it's and it's all very straightforward, very early, simple MIDI. So there's nothing, you know, in some ways it's a lot easier. And like I say, virtually every computer platform, there are free editors for them. It works very well with MIDI Quest, which is the standard editor everybody uses, that works on every platform. And there you can just kind of move the buttons around on your screen, and it just changes instantly on here, and then when it's good you save it. It's,
great. So all in all, thumbs up for
all in all, thumbs
Casio.
up. If you see one and you like old synths, buy it, because there is nothing else like it.
How much should we be paying for one of these?
I see them. Well, this one I've just prepared for a shop. They will be selling it for around £80–90, and that's probably a good price for one. Like, I would pay up to probably about 150 for a CZ1, and I'd pay around 100 for one of these or one of the other models it comes with. The other ones, like I say, the CZ1000 is just a slightly bigger keyboard. The other ones are slightly different in layout, but not noticeably. They do slightly different things. I think one of them has a drum machine in it, but it's very they're very similar. But yes, if you see one, grab it, and don't be put off by the rubbish keyboard, because you've got MIDI in the back. So, yeah.
You heard it here first.